Mr. Unbelief. Luke chapter 1, verses from 8 to 25. Here we read about Zachariah's unbelief. Zachariah was a priest. If you look at the context, for 400 years, there had been no new word of God. So people were living in spiritual starvation. But God always has a remnant of people who love Him and trust Him. Zachariah was one among them. Three things about Zachariah. Though he had unbelief, we see God's testimony about Zachariah. In verse 6, we see, it says, Zachariah was upright in the sight of God. Zachariah was observing all the Lord's commandments. Zachariah was observing all the rules blamelessly. We will see three things about Zachariah. First of all, we see Zachariah doubted the prayer he offered to God. We see here about angel's presence. Angel appeared and angel's voice to Zachariah was this: your prayers have been answered. Zachariah was praying for two things. One is for a child, another one is for Messiah's coming. Though his prayer was answered, he had unbelief. Secondly, we see Zachariah's doubt, that Zachariah doubted the promise of God. Zachariah's panic we see in these verses. Zachariah was afraid. The angel clearly tells that who will be born, what is his name, what he will do, but still he did not believe. Unbelief is the greatest of sins. As a believer, let us not have unbelief because we are not unbelievers but believers. Thirdly, we see Zachariah doubted the power of God. We see here about Zachariah's perspective against God's plan and purpose and the promise and the prophecy. God always He keeps His promises. God always hears our prayer. Because of the unbelief, Zachariah remained mute for 9 months.